Okay, so I'm going to do the last bit of what I consider the standard functionality, and that is going to be adding in the bounce button. Okay, so up to now I have been adding in the callbacks by going over and clicking on it. As there's a button, I'm going to show you the way of doing it. Because if there's like a standard callback option, then if you just double click on the object on the designer, that should create it. Sometimes it will just allow you to edit the content. There we go, it's created that time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call a function on the world called bounce. Ooh, left out a D. Okay, which doesn't exist, but that's fine. I was going to click on that and it will generate it for me, and I go back to the world. Does it take me to it? No, it doesn't. But if I go to my ball world, I will find my bounce function. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through each ball and bounce it. All right, so let's for each. Now I'm just going to talk through something here because this is a really quick bit of functionality. But you might notice that in the for each you get this var commit, and I feel I have to explain this, okay? Because I'm not doing a good job teaching you C# if I don't talk about this. I hate it. I absolutely loathe this part of C#. But in C# you can do you can use weakly typed. For when you learn Python, those who learn Python with me, I would have complained about the fact that Python is a weakly typed language, and that means that when you define a variable, you don't have to give it a data type. You can let Python effectively decide what the data type is going to be, and that can sometimes have its advantages. And you can do the same in C# by using the data type var, and var just means anything. Okay, var, and that's why they have it there, for example, because you may not know what the data type that's coming out of collection is. Personally, I absolutely hate it because I think you should write your programs thinking in terms of strongly typed variables, in which case you should know what it's going to. I know here I'm going to be pulling out objects of type wall, so why would I want to make them generic? Why would I want to call them a var? And you'll see this a lot, like for example, if you look online at help videos and things like that, I am very much in the minority. I would say if you were to look out there, 90% of C# users will use var. I absolutely hate it. I think it's lazy, basically, which is why I dislike it. So that's why that's there, but I always just write over it straight away, and that's why when you do the for each, it doesn't start on var, it starts on item, simply because var is acceptable in that position. So I know I'm going to be pulling out a ball. I'm going to call it ball. Oh. So ball. I'm going to start this again. So for each ball, call ball in balls. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to, I'm just going to give it a velocity, basically. Ball dot y velocity. It's going to be equal to, do I have a random? I think I have a random, don't I? Yeah, random dot next double times -5. Okay, because remember, because I wanted to bounce upwards in terms of y velocity, that's minus. So I'm going to, the next double is going to give me a random number between 0 and 1. I'm going to multiply by -5, and that's going to basically give me a random floating point between 0 and 5. Okay, now for my x velocity, it's going to be slightly different. Okay, I'm going to get this wrong. So again, I want a next double, and I want to multiply it by 5, okay, and then I want to subtract 2.5. Okay, now what that's going to do is, first of all, it's going to be a random number between random floating point between 0 and 5, and then by subtracting 2.5 from that, what I'm doing is I'm shifting the range from 0 to 5 to minus 2.5 to plus 2.5. So that means when I click bounce, all the balls will first of all bounce upwards at a random amount, but they'll also, some will bounce to the right, some will bounce to the left, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do on this. So now when I run this, and I said this would be quick. I think most of this video will be me ranting about VAR. So let's start it. I'm going to create a couple of more walls on there. There we go. I did want to see if I draw a wall, can I literally catch them? Anyway, that's not what that's what this is about. So I click bounce, and there we go. Okay, a little bounce effect. I'm not sure if they're bouncing up enough though, so I'm going to change that to the side to side look good, but I think I want more upward motion. So let's have a couple of walls there, and let's create some balls, make them a bit bigger maybe, and now do the bounce. Boop. There we go. Boop. And if I keep clicking it, obviously, there we go. And there's the bounce functionality. Nice and simple. Okay, good luck with that.